Well, as the proposal was unveiled yesterday, we were still in the very, very early stages of a proposal to redevelop what is the existing stadium site in Mission Valley to try and bring a Major League Soccer franchise to San Diego. As part of that deal, the private investment group is asking for San Diego State to share that facility and for the city council to approve the project rather than go to a public vote here. The stadium would be around 30,000 seats, at least that's what's been proposed. And so now we are joined by athletic director at San Diego State, John David Wicker, who is going to look into this project here. We're still very, very early on. Very much appreciate the time, sir. Thank you. What are your initial thoughts as you hear this, as the discussions have gone along? What are your initial thoughts on the proposal for Mission Valley?
Well, Jack, thank you for having me on again. We're excited for an opportunity, the opportunities to develop Mission Valley and to hopefully develop a stadium that works well for both San Diego State University and MLS team, and then the opportunity to bring in any number of other events that will, be a great thing for the community. Try to build a stadium that benefits the entire community.
What is, from your point as the athletic director at San Diego State, how do you feel about their proposal, size-wise, sharing the stadium? They want you to pay for half the cost. There's a lot of things out there that are on the table that's been proposed. Again, it's a proposal right now. Where are you guys at with this right now?
Well, obviously, we've been in discussions for some time and still have lots of discussions to go. The devil's always in the details, so there's a lot to still discuss. Obviously, 30,000 seats is a minimum for us, and then we'll look forward to, having the ability to expand that down the road. Understand their need for something smaller, so creating flexibility within the stadium so that you can create a smaller crowd for the MLS piece should they need that is something we're certainly willing to discuss with them. And, we're looking at the 50-50 partnership, and we'll figure out what that stadium cost will be as we continue to develop it. And we'll come up with something that is, beneficial to San Diego State athletics, the university, and the community.
Absolutely. John David Wicker is with us, the athletic director at San Diego State. And this hesitancy, obviously, is very well understood. They're asking for a lot of money. They're asking you to downsize the size of the actual stadium there. So you guys are not ready right now to sign off on anything here, this proposal.
Ongoing discussions with them, and we will continue to develop the stadium and, continue to look at the overall proposal and, come up with something that, we feel works best for San Diego State, both the university and the athletic department. And then, in conjunction with that, making sure that, we're helping the MLS folks get what they need out of it too.
The group, FS Investors, announced a pretty aggressive timeline yesterday. They want the city council to approve this directly by this summer. They're going to apply for the expansion in Major League Soccer, and that decision could come by summer or fall of this year. How do you feel about the aggressive timeline?
I understand what their timeline is and trying to meet the MLS piece. And again, we'll continue discussions with FS to make sure we address the deal points that we need to, and we'll do that as quickly as we can. But we need to make sure we arrive at the things that benefit San Diego State, and we feel that we think ongoing discussions we can help them meet their timeline.
What is your relationship with them? What's it like? Have you received their final, proposal, the one that they're going to put into the Citizens Initiative? Have you received all of that? Where are we at in the process?
We have not seen. They have not shared the final language of the initiative at this point, so we are eager to see that.
Okay, well, that would be a reason then to wait. Obviously, so they do not have their final language in place, or at least they haven't shared it with you guys, and they're asking for quite a bit then from the university.
Again, we have not seen any of their initiative language at this point.
Okay, all right. So if they go forward with this here and with this plan, what does San Diego State do? We've heard now that Petco Park could be in play. Do you envision Aztec football games perhaps at Petco Park as an option for you guys down the line?
Right now we have 2 years left on our lease, and we're currently, have a 2-year lease extension with the city. We've been in negotiations with that, so we're hoping to get that deal finalized to have 4 years in Qualcomm to be able to assess what we need to do. If at the end of those 4 years, or if the lease the lease extension doesn't happen, and the city chose to shut down Qualcomm, then it was exciting that Ron Fowler and the Padres opened up the opportunity that Petco would be there as a short-term opportunity for us while we figured out a correct stadium solution.
So you would view Petco as a short-term solution only, not a long-term one?
Again, not having a crystal ball, I would think 5 to 10 years. It gets complicated. Obviously in September we would be sharing the field, and then I have full faith in Padre ownership that they're going to get the Padres back into the playoffs here in the next couple of years. So then that creates issues in October. So ultimately, our goal would be to have a stadium that, a football-centric stadium that works for San Diego State in the future, and can avoid some of those scheduling conflicts. But very excited that Mr. Fowler and the Padres want to partner with us on that if need be.
And perhaps as a different thing, this is not the only plan that has been circulated. It's the one that's the furthest along, but there are other plans that have been out there, including some that call for San Diego State to have a second campus, essentially, on this Mission Valley site. Are there other workings, other things from the university, other plans that you guys might see as better or worse off than this one from FS Investors? Or is the university in the works of planning their own, perhaps, for Mission Valley, given this one that was announced yesterday?
We've been in discussions for some time with FS. We've seen other plans that are out there as well that have been floated, and we will continue to look at everything as what's presented to us, and we'll do what's best for San Diego State University and the community.
John David Wicker, the athletic director at San Diego State here. Exciting times here, and we very much appreciate the opportunity here. Thank you very much, sir.
Appreciate it very much, Jack.